Good morning, everybody. I apologize for the lighting here. In my car, I got to work a little like 30 minutes early, and I wanted to record something for y'all. So I really am. I don't know. I'm amazed sometimes at the people that God brings into your life to help inspire you. And I apologize. I'm getting a little bit teary-eyed sharing this because it brought me to tears this morning. How wonderful people can be. Yes, people can be very evil and mean and things like that. But, when you're really trying to do right by people and do right by God and open your heart to people, it's scary. It's scary, especially if you've been hurt very deeply. And as I've been working through some of these triggers of, some emotional scars from, my father and mother wound and things that, my twin flame triggered me on. It's like I'm finally starting to see the love come back to me through others, through being supported by other soulmates in my life. And soulmates, I don't know what some of you know, but I've learned that soulmates can be friends, platonic, friends of whatever gender, male, female, and or family members sometimes, as well as lovers. So when I say soulmates, that's what I'm talking about. Like, we have a soul group that we incarnate in each life with, whether, you believe that or not. I believe it. And, sorry, I'm like crying here. And God has been helping encourage me to move past my I've been suffering from, what I guess they now call imposter syndrome, and putting myself out there like this. And, as well as, unworthiness, inadequate, like, who am I to do that? Like, there's so many other people doing it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's so special about me kind of thing. And it's been very hard for me. I've tried putting myself out there on a channel before, back last fall, even, and started with several videos, deleted them, and then started and posted 11 more videos, deleted them after 2 months of them being out there. I felt stuck. And I was like, in my head, I'm apologizing, I'm going to get something to wipe my nose with since it's continuing to run. I've been kind of stuck. Sorry, y'all. Just being real with y'all. It's a real person here. I was stuck in my head and overthinking, rethinking, is this what I want to do? Is this how I want to do it? What do I want to do? How do I want to help people? I knew I wanted to help people. I just didn't know the best way to do it. And I felt like stuck. Like I was like, what else do I share? What else do I share? And I think I got it stuck in the fact that I wasn't staying in flow state. I wasn't sharing when I was actually inspired all the time. And I was forcing myself to be consistent with it, which is good. You need to try to do that. Especially if you're eventually going to do it as a business down the line. And I was trying to work towards that. Making it my life purpose business to provide a service for people, to help, coach and inspire them to their highest, purpose and in their healing work. And because it's so important. And yet the ego mind does not want to do it. I'm going to tell you, it's like the hardest thing to make yourself do. But you're going to keep cycling in these cycles, these karmic cycles over and over and over, no matter what relationship you start. It's going to continue to cycle, and you're going to continue to attract the same type of people in a different face or body, a little bit different circumstances each time, but you're going to continue to run into the same karmic cycles until you heal. It's your healing work that is causing that to happen, whether you want to believe that or not, and I'm not like throwing shade on anybody, and I mean, I'm not trying to do that, but we all need to sit and be honest with ourselves that we have a part in these relationships. It's not always the other person 100%. It takes two to have a relationship. And, whether you want to believe it or not, you had a part in the failure of that relationship. And I know that's going to probably cause some people to be triggered. But I'm here to share the truth. And I didn't want to see that within myself at first. I am a very open-hearted, loving person. And I was failing to see in my relationships where I was going wrong, what I was doing wrong and not loving myself enough, and was overgiving and constantly was being taken advantage of by not only, people at work, it was romantic partners, it was everybody. And I was kept pointing the finger at everybody else. Well, I'm a victim mentality kind of thing. I'm a victim. I'm just a loving person. Why would they treat me like this? But obviously there was something going on within me, and I had to finally say to myself, maybe there's something that I'm doing that is attracting this. Like, there's obviously a cycle. I started seeing the cycle because I prayed God. I was like, God, please show me what I'm doing wrong. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to attract toxic men in my life anymore that treat me less than what I deserve. What do I need to do to not get that again? It took me being so sick and tired of getting the same old type guys, narcissists, or men that just take advantage of me, because I was allowing them, and I didn't want to see that, my part in it. And so that's why I tell people that I know it's going to trigger people, but people need to hear this. You have a part in every relationship in your life. You play a part in that as well. You're not always the victim. A lot of times there's something within us that attracts those people in our lives to teach us a lesson about ourselves, teaches us something that we need to work on within ourselves. Okay, it's not always that, but a lot of times it is, especially if it's a toxic relationship. It's trying to show you something within yourself that you need to heal. And I know people don't want to hear it, but that is the truth. That I've experienced it myself. I now know that is the truth. And I'm here to share that with people. Like, this is not easy work, but it's so worth it, because once you get past that, once you start working past, your triggers and digging down into them, doing that shadow work, journaling, whatever you want to do, that works best for you, get a therapist or whatever. Like, once you start working through those and pushing past them, you will be amazed the stuff that you can do in your life. You'd be amazed the changes that happen in your life with your relationships with your friends, with work, with whatever, everything really, because you start seeing the pattern in your other relationships. I started seeing the pattern where I was overgiven in every relationship. And then I was like, wow, it was like a mind blown moment when I was like seeing it everywhere, where I was overgiving my love and my attention and my effort and my energy, and not getting enough balanced in my life. And that's so important. I cannot stress how important that is to people. You need balance. Balance will help bring peace in your life. Everybody deserves to have peace in their life, okay? Now, I'm not saying we'll be completely in peace, but it'll bring a lot more peace in your life. And I so badly needed that in my life. I was tired of living in survival mode, living paycheck to paycheck, and, constant stress, cortisol belly, and kept gaining weight and getting in these bad, behavioral patterns because of the stress in my life, because the people I was allowing to take advantage of me in my life and work and everything. It was all everything together. And so I had to start taking a hard look at myself and saying, what do I need to do to change this? And I started researching. I started Googling and going on YouTube, looking at self-help videos, people that coach people that have free videos out there. I didn't have money to spend, obviously, on things like that. So I just pray God would guide me towards those videos that I needed to see, and He did. And I mean, I just listened and listened and listened, and I would go out walking and listen to these podcasts and YouTube videos, write notes. Like, I was doing as much as I could do to try to fix this issue. Because once I started down the divorce road, I knew I didn't want to do this again. This is my second divorce. And I said, I'm only going to marry one more time and that's it. I don't want to get married again after that. Like, that's it. And that person is going to have to be the one. Like, and I'm going to have to be ready for it. I'm going to have to be healthier to where I don't attract the same type of person where it won't be ended in the same way. Or I am toxic and it ends because of me. So I knew I needed to finally do the work. And I had always put off working on myself between relationships. I always jumped into another relationship within, the longest I ever been was about 2 months between relationships on, voluntarily, in my adult life. So it was very difficult for me to hold myself back because I was codependent. I always needed that external validation to know that I was attractive, to know that I was wanted, to know that I was needed, that somebody desired me, and I really never delved into why that was and looked at it. Your ego mind doesn't want you to look at it. It makes every excuse. It keeps you busy and tied up and distracted with games, with everything else in life, whatever it is. And it doesn't want you to do the work, but you got to do the work if you want to change these patterns in your life. And it's so worth it in the end. It's so worth it. Let me tell you, even if you start small, you don't have to do everything right away. Like, start small and just try to be consistent. And at least, even if it's just monthly, try to do a little bit of work on yourself, whether it's writing letters to people that that hurt you, that, you were able to voice that to them. They may be their past, or maybe you don't want to do it in person. But you need to get those emotions out. That's super important to get that out. Whether it's confronting those people in a peaceful way and trying to work things out, whatever it is, like, do something to help yourself today. Like, just do it and try to be consistent in working on yourself. Try to take that time by yourself without being in a relationship. I'm telling you, like, it's so worth it in the end. Like, I never knew that before. I never put much thought towards that before. I was always needy. I don't want to be without somebody. I've always been in a relationship. I don't want to be lonely. That was my thing, was I didn't want to be lonely, because it is hard. It's hard being on your own. Let me tell you, I'm a single, parent in my mid-40s, and it was scary to me. I think I postponed the divorce because of that, because I didn't want to be the single mid-40s life crisis, single parent, overweight, and trying to get in the dating pool again. It was scary. And I'm not putting myself out there anymore. Like, I did try to do the online dating thing briefly several months ago, about 6-8 months ago, just kind of test the waters. And I was just like, not in it. I was like, no, I need to do more work on myself. I was like, mm-mm. And then I realized I can attract my own mate. I can attract my soulmate. And I've been working on doing that. But more importantly, putting most of the focus on myself, because I need to do what I need to do, that I came here to do in this lifetime. And that is to help people, which is what I'm doing right now, sharing these videos. I'm just going to do it as I see fit right now and see where it goes. I'm just a little bit like, sorry, that was my coworker leaving. I was trying to figure out where she was going. Just taking it one day at a time, doing it little by little, see where this thing goes. Hopefully it'll grow into a big thing, empire. I want to offer different services to people. I do have intuitive services I would like to offer to people, but I have to help develop those intuitive abilities right now, until I get feeling more confident using them. So I am trying to look into that right now and working on that. But anyway, I'm just starting right here where I can, very amateurly. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm putting myself out there because I know this information is so important. And that's the important part, is getting this information out there. I'm being pushed by my guides and by God and by Spirit to do this, to share this information, because it's so important right now. We are in a huge transition right now on this world, on this earth right now, with humanity, and trying to decide which way we want to go and what kind of future are we going to have. Are we going to have wars, continue to have wars? continue to kill each other off and blow each other up until the world is no longer in existence? Or are we going to start working on ourselves and changing that? Because that's the only way we're going to change, is by changing ourselves first, working on ourselves first, doing that work, digging down into these roots, even traditional life patterns from our generations past. Like, we came here to change things. Like, whether you want to believe that or not, the people that are on this earth right now, we're the ones that are going to make the decision whether or not we're going to change this, our future, or not. Like, that's us. And it starts with each of us doing the work on ourselves, not pointing the finger at everybody else. That's everybody else is doing it and it's their fault. Pointing to, looking back on ourselves and taking a good hard look in the mirror and saying, what is my part in this? What was my part in creating this reality that we have right now, where we got wars and stuff? And what do I need to do to fix that? That's what it's going to take to make a difference. That's what it's going to take to start changing this world and making the needed changes on this world and cleaning up the environment, bringing more peace to different countries that are in war right now. It's going to start with us, each of us doing the work and looking at ourselves and admitting to ourselves where we've gone wrong, where we've abandoned ourselves, abandoned self-love, and part of that, a lot of that, is healthy boundaries with people. And it starts with each of our relationships with work, career, with our family, with friends, co-workers, with loved ones, significant others, whatever. That's where it starts. Start there. Start working on your healthy boundaries. Give yourself some self-love. I'll go a little bit more into, ways I show self-love if y'all want me to in another video. I believe I shared about that in a prior video, if I haven't deleted it yet. But I really want to encourage people to start looking at yourself. Start seeing where you have some toxic patterns. You're giving away too much of your power. You're giving away too much of yourself, your time, your attention. And start recognizing how you're feeling about that after you do that. After people that come in that seem to have a power hold over you, how after an interaction with them, how you're feeling. That's where you need to focus on. That tells you right there how you're feeling. You need to recognize how you're feeling after interacting with somebody will tell you a lot whether or not there's a toxic imbalance there in that relationship with a give and take. That's where you need to focus on it. And then look at yourself. Start doing some shadow work, writing letters to people, journaling, whatever, go to a therapist, trying to work through these, core wounds that have been in our lives for generations, in our ancestors' lives. The only way we're going to stop this toxicity in our world right now with these wars and stuff is to start doing this within ourselves. So I encourage people to do that. Start doing that work. I'll be sharing more as I go about, my journey and how I'm coming along with that work and new things I might discover, as I'm doing that. But I'm excited to, have y'all along for the journey, and then help y'all as I'm going through it. So I really hope that this helps some people out there, and I leave y'all with love and light, and be blessed.